Then I report on TV47. My name is Furaha, and it's a very cold day, Leo. But either way, as always, I am here to keep you updated on all that is happening across the board. Sasa si tuanze kazi. Nice. Now, imagine an AI built specifically to ruin a slacker's entire day. That is exactly what Caroline Lema, a university student in Tanzania, just pulled off. Her new system pulls a serious double shift in the accountability department, acting as a full-on digital manager designed to keep everyone on their absolute best behavior. Now, this isn't your average AI making weird art or writing mediocre essays. It is a high-tech watchdog targeting lazy office workers and corner-cutting students all at once. By morning, the AI logs into the public sector to give officials a massive reality check, monitoring service desks to make sure they are actually helping citizens instead of scrolling social media vile tumezoea kunja watu our government service officials. Or taking 3-hour tea breaks. That classic "the system is down" excuse is completely loses its power when a motherboard is keeping strict receipts on the office Wi-Fi. By afternoon, the tech morphs into a ruthless exam proctor with absolutely zero chill, using laser focus to spot wandering eyes, suspicious head tilts, and formulas scribbled on palms. It can even tell the difference between a deep academic frown and the cold sweat of someone who just realized that they forgot to study the back page of the test. If this takes scales nationwide, the future is going to look widely different for everyone. We're talking about a world where government offices might actually process your paperwork on time, and students might actually have to read the textbook before finals. It is a massive win for productivity, but honestly, it's a pretty tough day for corner cutters because the era of free ride is officially entering a permanent system shutdown. We have a word for this. There's a word for people who snitching. It's actually, that's a funny word. She's created an AI that will basically snitch on you if you try cheating. Yeah, if you know, unaambiwa. So you see it going global because, again, it's actually a pretty decent app. The idea is really beautiful. It gets government workers to do their jobs. Kwa shule utabidi usome ndo ufanye kazi. I mean, upite mtihani. So anyways, let's see how far this innovation will go. And I actually think it will go quite far. Anyway, now, astronomers have finally cracked the case on the universe's favorite pink planet, a glamorous pastel magenta world called GJ50b. And it turns out this cosmic influencer is actually aggressively salty. The James Webb Space Telescope took a quick break from staring into the endless void to scan the planet, revealing that its beautiful rosy skies are actually packed with massive choking clouds. Made entirely of airborne salt, scientists at Northwestern University were completely baffled by the data until they realized the atmosphere is a terrifying apocalyptic cocktail of water vapor, methanes, ammonia, and heavy seasoning. It gets worse for this pink nightmare because it is also having a massive existential identity crisis, weighing in at 25 times the mass of Jupiter. The planet sits right on the awkward borderline of being a giant gas world or a brown dwarf, which is just the scientific term for a failed star that couldn't quite get its life together. Now, you know what's actually fascinating is the fact that we as humanity know more about space than we do know about what's underneath, in the sea and all that. And that's actually quite scary to me. That is scary, not knowing. Tuko hapa duniani but you don't know what's in the sea, but you know more about what's out there. Anyway, tuendelee. Picture trying to figure out the exact geometry of laying a brick wall or tailoring a suit. But your brain is forced to process the entire lesson through a language designed for a historic London boardroom. That is the daily mental gymnastics for students across Kenya, where a massive educational glitch has been running for decades. Even though people grow up speaking vibrant local languages at home, the school system quickly forces everyone into strict English, essentially turning a routine math or science class into a high-stakes episode of Survivor Vocabulary Edition. Thankfully, some technical colleges in places like Kericho are finally installing a much-needed system patch. Instructors have discovered a brilliant educational cheat code, teaching complex trade skills by blending English and Swahili with mother tongues like Kalenjin. Students like Lona Chepkemoi, a mother of 5 studying fashion design, are suddenly realizing they weren't actually bad at school. They just preferred learning how to draft clothing to patterns without having to translate the definitions from a rigid colonial textbook first. The ultimate plot twist, though is a corporate trap waiting for everyone at graduation, while learning in your mother tongue is a massive win for actual human comprehension. The global job market still demands flawless English if you want to land a major role or work abroad. It leaves students walking a wild linguistic tightrope, using their native languages to actually master their craft while keeping their English sharp enough to satisfy an interview panel that thinks that mother tongue is just an audio option you select on a streaming app. Possibilities, but I think you can maybe, for the practical skills, I think it actually works greatly if you think about it. It's practical work you do with your hands, or if someone gives you the instructions in your mother tongue, I think you stand to gain a lot. When it comes to the dialogue bit, that's a bit more complicated, but I'm glad that there's efforts being put on just to educate watu konje now. If you're a resident of Kibos in Kisumu who was counting down the hours to a very budget-friendly weekend plot, your calendar just got cleared by force. Nakada and KRA officers officially crashed the party, turning millions of shillings worth of illicit brew into a massive muddy pool. While it is a major win for public health and keeping people safe from dangerous chemicals, it is a dark day for the local guy who just wanted a cheap way to unwind after a long week. Now, imagine the absolute heartbreak of standing a safe distance away, watching your entire weekend vibe just get poured directly into the grass. The soil in Kibos is currently absorbing enough volume to give the entire ecosystem a hangover, while the regular clientele is suddenly forced into a state of involuntary sobriety. It's a high-key a tragic situation when the neighborhood dirt is having a much wilder Friday night than you are. While authorities are rightfully locking down these underground operations to, of course, protect everyone's well-being, locals saizi wanna face the terrifying reality of having to stay hydrated with actual tap water. This massive spill has officially triggered a temporary system reboot for the local entertainment scene, leaving the neighborhood corner cutters stranded until the underground supply chain inevitably tries to troubleshoot its next batch. Now to a story that is sad but also heartwarming at the same time. While most family pets get a quiet and bothered spot in the backyard, Roxy the cat just received a full-blown send-off that looks like a high-profile state funeral. As you will see in the video, the family and neighborhood came out in full force to lay down floral arrangements and plant a commemorative tree. It's clear this feline wasn't just a pet. She was high-key the chairperson of the household board of directors, demanding absolute respect even in her final exit. In true dramatic feline fashion, Roxy managed to inflict maximum emotional damage by pulling off the ultimate ghosting act. According to the family, this cat wasn't even sick. She simply went out for her usual evening stroll and decided to permanently log off, leaving everyone stranded in deep feelings and tears. It is a tough day for any household when a pet effectively changes a residential address without giving a proper 2-week notice or a heads up. The ultimate flex in this entire memorial was the family showcasing Roxy's official BAMBA veterinary. Hey, babarua zake za daktari. Now, let's be honest, most people can't even locate their own birth certificates when needed, but Roxy's paperwork was pristine, filed, and ready for deployment. Rest in peace, Roxy. You might have skipped town under mysterious circumstances, but you left behind a legacy of emotional chaos, immaculate records that other neighbors' pets can only dream of matching. Rest in peace, Roxy.
Roxy has been in the family for about 5 years. She's really a friend of the family and a part of the family. And it's really, really sad losing her like this. Roxy was about 5 years old.
Well, my condolences to the heartbroken woman. Otherwise, next is TV47 at 1. Jioni mtakuwa na Daddy Mato on the Now Report. That will be at 6:30 p.m. You take care, have a lovely day and stay warm. Kuna baridi sana kunje saa hizi.